How's everybody? How are you enjoying the event? I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you to Cassie for inviting all of these amazing speakers. I'm so excited and I feel so honored to be part of this amazing event, helping you to get fully booked in your businesses. So really, really love that we're here. And oh God, hope I I don't know if I missed the beginning there, but welcome everybody. So excited to be here today. So excited to bring you this topic about writing your spiritual and transformational book in 3 easy steps. Normally I do this in a 7-step process, but there's a masterclass that you can download afterwards and you can watch and you can get full process. But I will give you as much information as I possibly can in this 20-minute slot. So let's get started. So hello, if you're here, say hello in the comments so I know that you are watching me. I'm going to just have a quick check on my phone in case I miss any comments, and just double checking that I'm live. Let me see. Oh, there I am. Fantastic. Okay, so I can see the comments. Hi Stasia, how are you? Lovely to have you here. So if you know anybody that's in this group, or you want to bring somebody in afterwards to watch the replay or the replays of any of the content here, this is in particular for if you want to write a book, a spiritual and transformational book. So I'm going to talk about why you would want to write a book in the first place. Then we're going to look at 3 steps, which is what you would write about. So we're going to look at your book idea and your blueprint. Then we're going to look at the how, who the hell has time to write a book. So we're going to look at some logistics there to help you to make space to write your book, if it's been a dream of yours. And finally, step 3 is we're going to look at some of the blocks and challenges that might come up to stop you, the hairy, scary blocks. I know for me, I had a dream from when I was 8 years of age to write a book. And it was another 40 years before I actually had my first published book. And there it is there. Angels are with you. So I just want to, before we start, and for anybody that's watching, or if you're watching the replay, play along, I want you to drop into the comments between 0 and 10. So this dream that you have to write a book, so I'm guessing that everybody that's watching this wants to write a book. So this dream that you have, on a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you really believe that it's possible for you to write a book this year? Like literally 2024. 0 being, no, I'm not confident at all. There's absolutely no way I'm going to write a book this year. And 10 being, oh yes, I've got the support. I've got whatever I need. I know what I'm doing. I'm absolutely going to write a book this year. So just figure out where you are on that scale. It's important because I'm hoping that by the end of this 15-20 minutes that number is going to move up and you're going to feel confident and you're going to have maybe even a plan at this stage, some inspiration, and you're going to be like, okay, yeah, Aisling, I know what I'm doing. I know how to make this work. So just pop in the chat if you want, in the comments below, the number that you are now between 0 and 10. And if you're watching the replay, just pop it in there as well. And any questions you have about writing a book or anything that comes up as we go through this, pop them in the comments below and I will get to them over the course of the few days. So my darlings, just a quick introduction to me. My name is Aisling Mooney. I'm a spiritual business mentor. I work mainly with light workers and angel intuitives, spiritual business owners, and over the last 20 years in business, but over the last 10 years I've helped thousands of light workers and spiritual business owners get online, start to get paid for their healing gifts. So I am currently working with 2 groups of authors. One is a book collaboration of spiritual business owners, and one group is a VIP group of 9 authors that I'm bringing from start to finish to create their book in just 6 months. So it is possible. It is totally possible. So what I want to just pop in the chat if you have a dream to write a book. So like me, 8 years of age, going, I'm going to be a writer when I grow up. And it took me a long time to get there. And hopefully we're going to look at some of the blocks and some of the things that could derail us and could stop. But just put a yes in the comments if you did have a dream to write a book as well. just for us to acknowledge that. And maybe your guardian angels are listening in the background, your guides and your support team, your dream team is there in the background listening, and they're like, oh, so she remembers that dream. So let's maybe give you the inspiration to get it, bring it into reality this year. Wouldn't that be lovely? So why on earth would anybody need to write a book or want to write a book? So I'm really talking about spiritual business owners here, or any business owner, anybody that wants to write a book. Um, it gives you confidence, it gives you authority, it gives you expertise, it opens doors, it's an introduction to your work. So you can say to people, I have this book, Angels Are With You, which is about my angel intuitive work. I have a book coming out in the next few months, which is how to write and publish your book in 7 easy steps. Um, and it's like an introduction to your work. It's a very low offering introduction for people to learn about you and see you as an expert in your field. And the other, it's a freebie. It can be, depending on the size of the book, you might decide to offer it as a freebie to new customers. You can use it as an introduction to literally a program or a package. So you can design this book to specifically lead to a program or a package. But my favorite thing about a book, we're all in business here. We're all in business of offering our products and services in exchange for money. That's cash is king. That's what makes our businesses work. Otherwise, we're just it's a charity. It's a hobby that we have if we're not making money. So, what I love about books, they're an asset. They're immediate asset, and they are literally can bring in passive income for you from day one. So as soon as that book is finished, as soon as it's published, I'm talking specifically self-publishing for the purposes of this talk. Publishing with a traditional publisher is a whole different conversation, but just self-publishing on Amazon for the sake of this, it's an asset that goes up there and it immediately brings in passive income. So Amazon send me, just deposit money into my bank account every single month because of that book that I wrote 4 years ago. Sometimes it's 100 quid, sometimes it's 10 quid, but I don't have to do anything for it. It's literally, I just tell everybody if there's a sale on, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a passive income asset that you have in your business, and the more books that you have, the more chance you have of selling groups of books or a series of books, a whole other conversation. But I just think it's a fabulous asset that we can add to our business, a passive income asset. So let us jump into the 3 steps that I want to cover today. As I said, there are a lot more steps. The masterclass has 7, so go and watch that maybe afterwards if you really want to go to next level with this, and that will take you through the whole process of writing and publishing. But the 3 steps that I want to cover today is the what, the how, and the blocks that could stop us. So any questions, any comments, anything you want to say throughout this, any ahas if something pings and you're like, oh my God, that is so useful, I didn't think about it that way. So anything you want to add, do that in the comments. So what do you want to write about? So this is really important. You want to find the path of least resistance. So your first book, I recommend that it's not going to be your memoir. It's not going to be the book that, you want to write about your childhood or your wild 20s, or, I'm in my 50s now, early 50s, so I have a lot of life lived that would fill a big book. But I know that a memoir, like my memoir, if I was to go back to childhood, 20s, 30s, 40s, marriage, kids, the amount of travel that I've done, the work that I've done, the amount of people that I've worked with all over the world, and the different adventures I've had, it would be a 2-year process because of the healing that it would generate. It would be a healing journey, the stuff that would be excavated, for me to look at. So a memoir is not the first book, in my opinion. If you are in business and you want to bring in more business, you want to bring in more customers into your business, I would recommend that you start with an easier option. The very, very easiest, simplest options could be low content books. They could be diaries, journals, um, diaries, journals, colouring books, something like that. Easy peasy, very, very low content. The next level would be your secret process or your healing process or your step-by-step um, process that you use or system that you use in your business. So it could be five steps to abundance, or it could be how to create a podcast, the 4 pillars to create an amazing podcast and profitable podcast, or I don't know, how to do amazing sales calls, the 10-step process to create a 6-figure business through sales. So whatever the process that you use in your business at this moment, that could be turned into a book. You can include in there your client testimonials, your case studies and how you've worked with people over the years, testimonials as well. So there's lots of things that you can include in there, um, and it's not going to be as difficult as putting together your memoir from when I was born to where I am now. So that's what I recommend for that. So that is the what, is that you start with the path of least resistance, something easy peasy lemon squeezy. So there's a couple of things that you can use. I use mind maps, and I use um, a couple of different exercises called milestone exercises. But the very simplest is that you can just literally get a mind map, which is one sheet of paper, right in the center of the paper, book ideas, and literally spider legs out, and set your timer, grab yourself your timer, set it for 30 minutes, sit down with a cup of tea or your favorite beverage, and just throw ideas down on the paper. What is it that you could write about? Could you write about parenting, cooking, counselling, I don't know, bungee jumping, what adventures, traveling in Italy. I live in Italy, so maybe I could write traveling the Lake Como. I live near Lake Como, Lake Garda, so maybe I could do a travel book. So think if I could write an angel book. I've written an angel book. I could write an angel oracle book. I could write an angel journal or a diary. So think about what it is that you could write. And so literally use this mind map, get all of your ideas on the paper, and then choose 3 ideas. Choose the top 3. Path of least resistance again. Your memoir is probably on there. We're going to ignore that, and we're going to just look, okay, what could be the fastest piece of writing that I could get done? And it's also about realizing how many words do you want in this book. So the memoir is probably going to be the 80,000 word novel book. But for your first book, you might be looking at 50,000 words, 30,000 words. Average book is about 250 pages, more or less, to 300 pages, very big. So an ebook, simple ebook could be just about 100 pages. So very manageable. So that is your what, is getting really, really clear on your what. And I have more resources that we can go deeper into that. So don't worry, if you need them, you can just you can get the freebie, and that will get you started. The how we're going to jump into. Step 2, the how. So this is about understanding that nobody has the effing time to write a book. Nobody here. I don't have any free space in my schedule at this moment that I'm like, oh, I can just sit there at my leisure, I'm not retired, and write a book. So nobody that I know has time. Everybody's schedule is up here full to the brim. So, and a lot of people, start writing a book, but they haven't figured out their schedule, they haven't made space for it, they haven't figured out what they're going to write, they haven't figured out how big the book is, how long it's going to take. So the first step is to figure out the time. And literally, I'm working with a private group now at the moment with 9 authors, and in 6 months we're going to write their book, and they're literally doing it in 6 hours a week. So they're committing to a minimum of 6 hours a week, which could be 1 hour every morning before the kids get up, or at lunch break, or when you're dropping your kids to football and you're sitting in the car, or swimming, or whatever it is, and or you might, instead of spending time with friends at lunch break, you might take a half an hour of that and write. So it's finding, or switching off Netflix at night and instead writing the book. But it's finding the time for your book. So that's what I would recommend is see if you can find between 3 to 6 hours a week somewhere, and something will have to go for you to find that time. And the second part of that is understanding the season of life that you're in. So, and setting yourself realistic guidelines. So there's no point if you have, uh, there's no point in saying at 4 o'clock, 4 and 5, I'm going to write my book, and you have young kids and you're cooking dinners and you're doing school drops and whatever. So that's not going to work. Um, for me, I know back when my kids were young, I got up early. I got up an hour early and I wrote for an hour every day, and that was the way that I wrote my first book. That one. So and now my kids are a little bit older, so I have a little bit more freedom and flexibility in my schedule, and I don't need to get up at the crack of dawn. But for the last book collaboration, I had to produce a chapter and do a lot of work there. I just dropped Netflix for 3 months so that I wouldn't be tempted to go on and binge watch, which I love, on Netflix. So, it's about finding that time. Everybody has 24 hours in the day, but it's about, okay, do you really want to write a book? So it's about prioritizing that time. How are we for time? Oh my God, I can't believe this. I have 5 more minutes left. So let's jump into blocks. Um, the blocks are the biggest block that I see is people, authors wanting to be right, wanting to be perfect from the word go, and that is the biggest piece of advice that I could give you. Is that done is better than perfect. That's the words used by Elizabeth Gilbert of Eat, Pray, Love. Done is better than perfect. Just write the effing book. This is your first draft is going to be so crap, so terrible that this is just a given. Everybody's first draft is really terrible. So we're not expecting perfection from the beginning. All we really want is words on the page for your first draft. So that is the number one um, piece that I would say. And also people say, well, I don't have the time and it's not possible for me to sit down or to write or whatever. It takes uh, 6 minutes to speak 1,000 words. It takes 6 minutes to speak 1,000 words into a speech to text app. So, literally, as I've been speaking here for nearly 20 minutes, I have spoken probably 3 or 4 thousand words. So, you can literally speak into an app, and that app will translate your voice into text. And you can take that, put aside some time afterwards to edit, add in capitals, add in full stops, spaces, and you literally have your first crappy draft. So you can do that walking in the supermarket, uh, I don't know, walking around the house, sitting in bed, whatever you want, whatever time. There are no excuses. You don't have to sit down physically at your computer to write your first crappy draft. And then after that, I would just say, I'm just wrapping up here, really squeezing in stuff, but I would say make sure that you have a community, you have a coach, you have somebody to help and support you on this path of this dream of writing your book. I hope this was useful. Give me the check-in again between 0 and 10. 0 being I don't know, I'm never going to write a book, and 10 being I am absolutely ready to write a book this year. I am ready and able, and let's go. Okay, my darlings, I hope this was useful. I'm Ashley Mooney, and I'd love to connect with you afterwards. There's a link up somewhere. It's ashleymooney.com/m book for the full masterclass with all of the information. Loads of love. Enjoy the rest of the next few days. Bye bye, everybody. Bye.